Good morning, students. In our last lecture, we were discussing about the mole concept. Today, we will be discussing about how to derive molecular formula or empirical formula from the given data. Now, first of all, before we understand how to derive the molecular formula or empirical formula from the given data, it is necessary that first of all we should know it. What is meant by empirical formula? So first of all of you are aware about it. What is a molecular formula? When we are having any compound written in the form of the symbolic atoms forming a compound, it's known as molecular formula. For example, you know it, H2SO4 is a molecular formula for sulfuric acid. Now, H2SO4, when I want to convert it into its empirical formula, it's going to remain as empirical formula is also H2SO4. Maybe molecular formula or empirical formula. Both of them are same. But it is not necessary that every compound will have a same molecular formula. The compound will have something to do with an empirical formula. Let's take it as an example which is having it as a different empirical formula as compared to that of molecular formula. C2H6. You know it that the compound is ethane. It's a molecular formula of ethane. If I want to write its empirical formula, the empirical formula is CH3 twice. Now, what is it? From this, can I take it out as a common 2? It's a multiple of 2. So, we will be getting it as a 2 common CH3 twice. So, CH3 is considered to be as an empirical formula. Similarly, if we take it as a C6H6, then at that time, empirical formula will become as CH. At that time the empirical formula will become CH. That means, in short, from the molecular formula, whatever the common number can be removed, it's taken out in the form of a number. The rest of the factor, rest of the atoms which are present in the compound, they are considered to be as its empirical formula. One more example for glucose, C6H12O6. Its empirical formula will become as CH2O. It's an empirical formula. 6 is going out as a common number. So, while we are having it as an empirical formula to molecular formula, if we want to find out from the given data, how can we get it? This is a particularly a numerical portion to find out the empirical or molecular formula of the given compound, right? It's specifically only for numericals. This topic you are going to get it as a question in the form of numericals. Okay, let us find out how to go for it. So, for this, to calculate the empirical formula or molecular formula, first of all, we'll understand it. Before we do it in 1 or 2 numericals, we will understand that what are the steps that we will have to proceed to get the numerical to be solved. Okay, now when we want to calculate the empirical formula, first of all, we'll prepare one simple table. In the table, we'll find out, first of all, elements. In this, let me make it as a bigger table so that you can see it. Elements, whichever the elements may be there for the compound. First of all, elements, then percentage of that element, then we will find out ratio of percentage by atomic mass, ratio of percentage by atomic mass. Then Once we get it, we will find out simplest ratio. We will see it in the numerical one by one. We want to do it this, how to find out what is the simplest ratio, and then the number of atoms. Number of atoms. This is the first table that it will be always been required while we want to calculate the formula. Okay. The second factor that we want to know it. Once we get this, we are going to get it as an study of this. We will get some answer. This answer, whatever the number of the elements we get it, it's written as empirical formula. It will be written within the bracket and n will be indicated. N is a common number that we are going to take it out. Now, what will be that common number? How to calculate the value of n? N is given out as molecular weight upon empirical weight. The formula we will be using it is n is equals to molecular weight upon empirical weight. Okay. Again, there will be a possibility that the molecular weight, we don't know the molecular formula. How can we come to know it, the molecular weight? Molecular weight might be given to us, or the second probability is they might give us molecular weight is equals to twice vapor density. So that means in the sum, vapor density might be given to us. Using that vapor density, we can find out the molecular weight. Maybe molecular weight directly given to us. Right? So if we make this calculation, we will be getting it as a molecular formula of the given compound or empirical formula of the given compound. Okay, before I erase it, if you need it, copy it. I am giving you 2 minutes to completely copy down the formula, because these are the most important factor for solving the numericals. Okay, now let us take it as one of the numerical to be solved so that you can understand it. Okay, now let's have it as one of the numerical in which a data is given to us in the form of, there is an element sodium. Right? The amount of the sodium that we are having it, that is 43.4%. Now this is given data. It's already given to us. It's having it as in sodium 43.4. Second, you are having it as in carbon, which is given to us in the form of 11.3%. Right? Okay. Now this is given to us. Sodium is 43.4% and carbon is 11.3%. Find out the empirical and molecular formula of the given compound, where the molecular weight of the given compound, you are going to get it as an molecular weight. What is it? We want to find out the empirical weight, empirical formula. Now, first of all, we will do it as an empirical formula. Then we will go it for its molecular formula also. Okay. Now, for the sodium, 43.4 is given to us. So, what we will have to do it is, before solving it, check, is it 100%? No. You will be getting it as an 43.4 plus 11.3, that means 54.7%. Now 54.7% is the compound. Compound will be always 100%. So whenever this type of incomplete percentage is there, then we have to consider that rest is always oxygen. Rest you have to always consider it as an oxygen. That means 100 minus 54.7, that means you will be getting it as an 45.3%. Right? Okay. Now we got it that the oxygen is 45.3%. We want to find out its ratio. So what will get it? 43.4 divided by 23, 11.3 divided by 12, and 45.3 divided by 16. When we do it as in it, we will be getting it as in the answer in the form of 1.88, 0.94, 1.88. So we get the answer. We want to find out the simplest ratio next. What will be the simplest ratio? Take the smallest number of it. Can I say that smallest number is 0.94? So 1.88 divided by 0.94. 1.88 divided, sorry, here you will be getting it as in the answer in the form of 2.83. Okay, this you will be getting it as an 0.94, 0.94, 2.83, 0.94. Now if we go for the division of it, what we are going to get it here? 2, here 1, here 3, right? So what is the formula we are going to get? It is a Na2CO3. It's an N times, right? Okay, now 46, 48, 96, 106. Molecular weight of given compound is 106. Empirical weight of given compound is also 106. So N is equals to molecular weight upon empirical weight. We will get it as 106 upon 106, that is equals to 1. Therefore molecular formula of given compound will be Na2CO3. That means in this sum we are getting it as in molecular formula and empirical formula both same, right? Okay, now let us do it as in one another sum where we have been given a data in the form of theory. Let's check the one of the sum like that. The question that is given to us, compound has carbon, that is equals to 57.82%, and hydrogen, that is equals to 3.6%. Its vapor density is equals to 83. The vapor density is given to us, that is 83. Find out molecular formula and empirical formula for the given compound. Okay, now for this question, how we will be doing it? First of all, elements, we have been given out carbon, hydrogen. I am sure that the percentage are not going to become 100. We are getting it as an 57.82 plus 3.60. That means 61.42. Okay, from 100 if I subtract 61.42, we are going to get it as 8, 5, here 8. So that means we are going to get it as an oxygen. The percentage that are for it as an 57.82, 3.60 and 38.58. These are the percentage that we are having it. Okay, now after the percentage we want to find out the ratio of percentage by atomic mass, that is 57.82 divided by 12, 3.60 divided by 1 and 38.58 divided by 16. So in that case you are going to get it as 4.8, 3.6 and this you are going to get it as 2.4. Okay, so this is the ratio that we got it. Now we want to find out the simplest, that means 4.8 divided by 2.4, we will be getting it as 2. 4.8 divided by 3.6, 1.5, 2.4 divided by 2.4, we will be getting it as 1. Now see, we got it over here fraction. So number of atoms, when we are going to get it, we can't get the atoms in fraction. So number here, number of atoms, we are going to get it as 2 into 2 for carbon, for hydrogen 1.5 into 2 and for oxygen 1 into 2, that is 2. That means the empirical formula, we will be getting it as C2H3O2 n times. The empirical formula of the compound, we got it as C2H3O2 n times. Now first of all find out empirical weight. What you will get it? 24 plus 3 plus 32. So that means you are going to get it as 35, 59. The empirical weight, we are going to get it as an 59. Sorry, we made a mistake. We will be having here 4. So this one will become 4. So 12 4s are, we will be getting it as 48. So here we are going to get it as 83. Sorry, I made an error. Okay. Now we got it as an empirical weight. Now let us find out molecular weight. Molecular weight, that is equals to twice vapor density. Vapor density is given to us 83. So we are going to get it as 166. We got it as molecular weight as 166. Now empirical weight is known to us, molecular weight is known to us, empirical formula is known to us. So let us see it. What will be the value of N? N is equals to molecular weight upon empirical weight, that is equals to 166 upon 83, that is 2. That means we will be getting it as molecular formula of the compound as C4H3O2 twice, that is C8H6O4. The molecular formula of the given compound, we are going to get it as C8H6O4. Okay, this is the way we will be always trying to get the answer to find out the molecular formula. Make it sure that you don't get an error like this, otherwise the whole sum will become as something different as in formula. Okay, is it clear to everyone? this is one of the most important topic of your syllabus. The reason is at least one question will be always there based on these sums. Clear? Okay, we will do it the rest of the thing in our next lecture. Thank you.